We want to remind you of the prize we give out on Sunday at the end of the festival. It's the Grolsch People's Choice Award, and we could not do it without you, quite literally, because you vote for it. So please remember to vote, and you can do that by going online to tiff.net/vote. You can vote on a computer, you can vote on your phone, just don't vote on your phone during a movie ever. Even if you love the movie, and I think you will, just wait till after. Big thanks to Elevation Pictures, to Bleecker Street, and to Bloom for providing us with this film. These companies are great partners of ours and bring us great work every year, so thank you to them. And I just want to thank, really personally, Elizabeth Chomko, who is back here, and I will bring her out in a moment. But, we all go through things with our families, siblings, fathers, mothers, children. And sometimes it's hard to know how to express what you're feeling when you're going through something difficult with a family. And when I saw this film, what they had, it really helped me express some of what I was going through and maybe hadn't found a way to express in words. And that's really because she is incredibly observant in terms of the dynamics among family members and really expressive in terms of both the dialogue. She wrote the script. It's an award-winning screenplay, but also in terms of how she directs her cast and how she's put this film together. She's an alumnus of the Sundance Institute's Screenwriters and Composers Lab. And this is her very first feature film, but you're going to be hearing a lot more from her. And she's also put together a remarkable cast here. Blythe Danner, who has been working in Hollywood movies for many, many years, I don't think is appreciated quite enough, but she does remarkable work here. Robert Forster, who many people rediscovered in Quentin Tarantino's Jackie Brown, but he's also been just a really talented screen presence in Hollywood movies for many years. Relative newcomer like Taissa Farmiga, and then a man who was actually on this screen just last year, Michael Shannon in The Shape of Water. He's in this movie as well. And the cast is led by the remarkable two-time Academy Award-winning Hilary Swank. It's an amazing group of people. We're going to bring them out in a moment, but I want to ask you to please join me in welcoming the writer and director of what they had, Elizabeth Chomko.
Hello, hello, hello. Wow, it's such an honor, really, to be here. Thank you so profoundly for coming, and thank you to Cameron and TIFF for including us in their unbelievable lineup this year. And I'd like to thank Bleecker Street for all their support and getting us here as well. And of course my cast, who is mostly all here. And really this movie is about family, and we became a family, and they were unbelievably supportive to me in this rather Herculean effort on behalf of all of us. They are mostly here tonight. I would love to bring them out. The amazing Taissa Farmiga. The legend Robert Forster. The amazing Michael Shannon. And also, of course, Hilary Swank. Thank you. We're just, again, so excited for this moment and to be here and to be in this amazing city. It's been a wonderful reception from all of you already, and we're super grateful. I'm super grateful. And to be part of this group of people, this community that really loves movies and stays through the end, right? Like, it's really amazing to have this movie celebrated by this group. So we will be back for a Q&A if you have questions. But thank you this was a labor of love, and we thank you all for being here. See you after. Enjoy. Thank you. Thank you so very much. Thank you.
Congratulations on a beautiful film. I never do this, but I want to tell you I lost my own father in April, and this film meant so much to me. So I wanted to begin by asking you about what was personal for you in telling this story.
I'm sorry about your dad. I wrote this from a place of grief, honestly. I think I realized what memory meant to me when I started observing my grandmother lose hers, right? Like how precious they are and how we take them for granted. And I wrote this from a very place of control, honestly, like wanting to cheat death. I lost my grandfather, and my grandmother was slowly fading, and I was not ready. And so every rewrite of the script was like hanging out with them again. And just to see it here is beyond my wildest expectations for this story. And to have it like completely have a new life with these amazing people who really are like as much my family as my own family. It's pretty profound.
I would imagine that casting when you're telling a story like this, casting has got to be so important. They have to feel like a family. They have to connect with each other like a family, even in the unspoken things beyond the dialogue. How did you go about casting all of these remarkable actors?
Well, Hilary came on first at a relatively early stage of the script, and really the character that she plays was kind of an enigma to me, I think because she's the most me. And sometimes, you know, that's like something we struggle with. And meeting her was like this woman I'd been trying to conjure suddenly was like in front of me. And then she has just the most amazing instincts about people. And so she had really great inspiration for the character that pushed that script that extra 30%. And I just always thought Robert was exactly this man, and just, you know, exactly. And Thaisa as well, just this like, I saw her in this beautiful short where she has the most emotive eyes, and this isn't her character that we had a whole lot of real estate because it's such an ensemble piece, and she just brought like such intuition to that character. And then Michael, being from Chicago and just being the amazing, profoundly good actor that he is, really came in and yeah.
Oh, wait, why are we only clapping for the men?
Yeah, let's clap for the ladies. And Blythe Danner was also my first choice for
I've lived in Chicago, so I brought some authenticity to the fucking
Very
thing.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Blythe I always thought had the right spirit and even though she had no experience with, those are my people. Anyway, so I feel like very grateful that they all really were perfectly cast, and then having such extraordinary actors, you know, you just sit and watch and like pinch yourself.
Hilary, can I ask you about taking on this role, coming on as an executive producer and really helping to shape the project with Elizabeth, and then also just working with this group of actors?
Well, the moment I read the script, I felt something really special and unique, and and something that I connected to, even though I don't have anyone in my life that is suffering from dementia, even though my father is suffering his own health crisis. But there was that connection, but there was just so many different connections that I had about being a woman and living your most authentic self. And, you know, at 40, if you're not, why, seize the day. And so many things about the script that I related to. And then when I met Elizabeth, she was so articulate, so smart, and so egoless. You know, this is her story, yet she said, you know, I want to incorporate any of your thoughts and any of the other actors that come on, their thoughts, and I want it to become yours too. And, you know, that's rare. It's really rare when someone has that, especially a first-time director. And the entire time, just like, if it doesn't feel right, don't say it. You know, say what feels right to you. And I was taken by her presence and her, you know, and taking a risk on a first-time director, you know, is a risk, right? But I just believed in her. And then coming on board as being a producer, I really want to champion talent, and I want to be there and help give them what they need in order to get their vision to the screen. It's just part of, you know, I've been doing it now for 29 years, and so I feel like that's something that I can give someone. And so it was a pleasure and an honor to do that for Elizabeth, and then to have this incredible cast come together. This, you know, this guy has been a dream come true, because I've always wanted to collaborate with him. And then you, I mean, your esteemed work forever and ever. And then learning about you, it's just been wonderful. And it's just, it's the thing that dreams are made of, really.
I want to give our audience a bit of time to ask questions as well, if you don't mind. So maybe I'll open it up now, and then we'll see where we go. You're in the front row, so I see you. But let's see if there's others as well who have questions. The lights are just coming up now. If you got a question for Elizabeth or anyone up on stage here, and if you're up in the top row, you're going to have to wave a little bit so we see you. And I realize this is one of those films that takes a moment sometimes to just process how you're feeling about it. Oh, thank you. I didn't see you. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. The question, first of all, there was a comment that she found the film amazing. She wasn't sure about the turkey and the meaning of the turkey.
Sure. Sounds like the audience wants to answer the question.
I would prefer that.
Next question.
Well, no, I don't want to dismiss your question by any means, but I can't answer that honestly. Like, I mean, maybe sometimes it's missed that they have this pet name for each other. For me, making this movie was a very spiritual experience, and I think, you know, I've certainly had a lot of questions about what it's like to be a woman filmmaker in this moment, and of course, it's an honor. It's also like a bit, why were there many women before me that didn't get that question? Or why are we asking that at all? And I think part of it, there's many, many reasons, and I don't want to speak for all of those. But one of the things is like that voice. You know, I heard this voice that said, go make this, somebody's supposed to make this movie. And for a very long time, I thought it was somebody else that was supposed to go make this movie. And that I was supposed to go tell someone that this vision was out there, that they were supposed to make this. And it took a while, but I realized nobody else was doing it, and so I guess I probably should have.
She's the turkey that did.
And I'm the turkey that did.
Nice.
But it took a spiritual like instinct that I was connecting to something else that really like brought that to my confidence. And I don't know, the turkey is part of that for me. So, thank you.
Thank you. Yes, let's go here. The question is about, were you looking at the idea that everyone needs to have a purpose in life in order to be happy?
That's a great question. Very good question. I think for me, it's like I've learned that like chasing your joy is as good of a thing to do each day as anything else, if you can. And I wonder if that's not a generational thing as well. I wanted to kind of look at the morality between generations and what you're sort of called to do each day. And what I think for me, it's like, yes, like we're here to sort of chase this joy because we have one life that we know of. One. So.
One of the things I really liked about the film is each member of the family seemed to have a different purpose within the family itself, and they played different roles that they were really used to. And what was happening really challenged the roles that they were all expected to play. I wanted to ask the other actors who haven't spoken yet, Robert, Thaisa, and Michael, just about what you came in with in terms of the character you were playing and what you expected your role within the family to be.
I am the father. I've been a father for over 200 years, if you count up the ages of my children. And I am the father, and this is the way we do it, kids. Cut it out. Let's go. Now's the time to get going. And so the father is the guy who partly takes care of his family. That's his basic job in life, is to care for others. This is the job of life. This is the human condition. First we're born and we can't take care of ourselves, then we can, then we're expected to take care of ourselves. But for most of our lives, we are expected to take care of others. And this is about a family who takes care of each other.
Well said.
Some wisdom right there.
I got two. Okay, I got three. You know, for me, it's funny because Emma and Bridget in this movie go on a very similar trajectory. They have to realize that you can't always take care of other people. Sometimes you have to take care of yourself first, and that's not necessarily selfish. It's self-care. It's a necessity to be able to be your best self, to care for the ones you're supposed to. You have to care about yourself. And you know, growing up her whole life, Emma tried to live up to her mother's expectations, and she didn't know what her own expectations were for herself. And Bridget also spent so much time worrying about other people, not worrying about herself. So they both, in a way, had to come of age and realize that, who am I? What do I want in life? What makes me happy? And I think part of, you know, Emma's role in the family is to help Bridget realize that, so she can realize it for herself as well.
Michael, you got a microphone.
I've always wanted to play a character who owned a bar.
All right, let's go here.
Director, congratulations. Your audience will have what it is. You know, you connect in such a way with the audience that I was back there, and we enjoy the film because of the emotions that we were able to get. So now going to Hilary, such an amazing actress and Oscar winner. How does it feel to? What did you learn from working with Mr. Robert Forster and the Moment story? Because when we look at you, you enjoy your acting, and what did you learn from them?
Okay, the question is for Hilary. What did you learn from working with Robert Forster and also from Blythe Danner?
Well, you know, when someone's been doing it for so long and they're so comfortable in their own skin and their shoes and they do it with such ease.
Thank you.
It's true.
And the same for you.
Thank you.
It's one of the thrills to work with an actor who is so confident and delivers so much and varies their work every single take.
Thank you. But this is about you. But thank you. Because that's what I was about to say about you. So now what do I say? No, but really, you know, but it's just in Blythe, I think it's one of her best performances to date, and And I feel like it was a really hard role that she did, and it takes a lot of courage to do that, and and to not parody it, to really be it, and you really helped her with that because of your experience with your grandmother, and it was just, it's like masterclass. It's like you're in masterclass when you work with these people. You're sitting there going, let me be a sponge and let me absorb this and let me carry this with me to my next project and on and on and on. So thank you.
But seriously,
and I learned how to make a drink.
But one of the astonishing things about Blythe, and you have to understand this, is how intimidated she was by this part, and how she constantly was going up to Elizabeth like, please tell me I'm doing this. Please tell me what to do. Because she was so respectful of the disease and of Elizabeth's family and the history and the humility of somebody who's been doing it longer than most, maybe 20% of the people in this room have been alive. Actually 15. It's like, it's extraordinary to see that, because you could just as easily go in and be like, okay, I get it, Alzheimer's, you don't remember what's going on. But she didn't. She was like, I want to make sure I get every detail exactly right. And it was a beautiful thing to see.
Yeah, she was really, she had some anxiety. She really had no time to prepare, right? We went so fast and had no time. Like, we shot this thing very quickly.
22 days.
Yeah. But Blythe, it's crazy. Blythe is such a present actor. She's just so like connected with exactly reacting to whatever's going on. Every take is like spontaneous and new and different. And like that's how it's got to be if you can't remember what's going on from what happened a minute ago. All you can try to do is like try to figure out, where am I? What is he saying? Oh, yes. And that's the kind of actor she is. So she was anxious, but she just brought it so effervescently and instinctually.
Thank you. We've got time for maybe one more. We haven't gone up to the balcony yet. Is there anybody up there who's got a question? Yes, right there. Go ahead.
The scene where Nick makes his father a Manhattan in the bar is so powerful with just a few words of dialogue. Could you tell us how that scene came together?
Can you tell us about the Nick?
Well, they cut all Robert's dialogue out. He had a big, long speech, and Elizabeth was in the editing room. She's like, you know what, just cut to the part where he says it's a nice drink.
Right?
In the end, it's
Can't
about the
answer
bar,
that better.
Right? It's all about the bar. All right, we are out of time. I'll just ask you to please join me in thanking once again Elizabeth Chomko.
Thank you so very much. Thank you.
Hilary Swank. Michael Shannon, Thaisa Farmiga, and Mr. Robert Forster. The film is What They Had.
Thank you. Thank you all so very much. Thank you. What a wonderful reception. Thank you.